Hey, welcome to the Q Reyes Project. This is Q Reyes coming at you once again. On my podcast today, I'm going to talk about fear. I've been sort of researching it because I think we all have fears. Fears are a way for us to stay alive. You got to be afraid of certain things so that you live longer. You got to have some sort of fear to a certain degree to snakes or poisonous spiders, or because if not, you would just go up to them and get bitten and die. So fear is healthy up to a certain degree. Now, the problem is when that fear takes over your normal life, things that are not going to kill you. Fear of things that will kill you is healthy. Fear of things in your head is unhealthy. And I think in careers and relationships and every aspect of life, fear of things that you imagine can really be hurtful to your growth and to you finding some sort of peace, happiness, all of that, because that fear will not allow you. You cannot be in fear and at the same time have peace or be happy, because fear, what it does, it puts you on some sort of alert. It alerts your body, your state, your mind, everything that, hey, we have to protect ourselves. We have to protect ourselves from an imminent threat. And we want to survive. So we want to make sure that we eliminate any threat. And we got to either run or we got to take care of that threat. So when you have fear of things that you imagine, things that don't exist, things that will never happen, things that just are ridiculous, then you are stopping yourself from being at peace, because that adrenaline from trying to battle that fear does not allow you to. That means that you're probably not going to perform at your best. If you're afraid of your boss, then most likely you hate your job. If you're afraid of whatever you're afraid of, you're not going to necessarily like, obviously, because that fear is usually from something harmful. And when you're afraid of even public speaking, some people are afraid of speaking public, and that fear will haunt them and it'll eat at them. It probably makes you older and wrinkled. It's like when you feed all these fears that are unbased, you are putting your body through stress that it does not need to go through. And I believe, for example, we all have fears. I have fears. We all have fears. But how you manage that fear? How do you take that fear and convert it into something that is fruitful, that is productive? And, someone said courage is not necessarily that you're not afraid. It's that you're afraid, but you do things anyway. So the way to manage your fear is to have courage. Is to know, admit that, I'm afraid of this. Whatever it may be, I'm afraid of talking to this girl. I'm afraid to talk in front of my peers or in public. I'm afraid of my boss. I'm afraid of all of that. When you have that fear and you manage it with courage, then something special happens. Something inside you lights up. When you make the conscious commitment that you're going to have courage, that you're going to take steps to overcome that fear, you actually overcome the fear. Just having the courage overcomes the fear. And courage, you just got to summon it. You just got to, if you are living in the medieval ages and you wanted to, you're going to war and everybody's marching towards the other army and you're part of the army, the only thing that you can have is courage. Is obviously you're fearful, you might lose your life in the battle, but that courage takes over that. And then if you have enough courage, you probably will come out victorious. Same thing with life. If you're afraid of your boss and you start building that courage inside, in your mind and in your gut and in your body, it just starts changing. Your attitude changes. If you want to overcome that fear of speaking in public and you start just building it up, like, okay, I'm going to have courage. I'm going to be courageous. I'm going to overcome this thing, because you're not going to die over that battle. That's one thing you got to keep in mind as well. Have your fears to be well-based. Do not be afraid of things that will not kill you. It does not make any sense. So I wanted to quickly talk about that. Hopefully you can be courageous, take steps to overcome whatever it is that you need to overcome, because you don't just have one fear. You're going to have multiple fears. And remember, fears are different than worries. To be worried is different than to be fearful. When you're worried, you're just worried. You're worried that you can't pay your bills. But you don't have that. That's not fear. Unless your worry becomes so intense that it becomes a fear. Because that's another way that fear creeps in. It's not only a defense mechanism for us to survive, but also it's a way to analyze worry. So if you're really worried that something's going to happen, then that worry usually, if you keep feeding it and you keep thinking about it, and if you keep being worried, it'll eventually become a fear. And then now it's even harder to overcome, because you can overcome your worries a lot simpler than overcoming your fears. So just keep in mind, you got to nip those worries in the bud. Don't worry about worries. You're not going to die over anything you worry about, because if something's going to happen to you, it's going to happen whether you worry about it or not. So don't worry about it. Pretty much. Now, your fears can hinder you from taking action. Your fear of something or someone can stop you from taking action into something that's going to make you grow. So, like I said, find the courage. No one can give it to you. Only you can summon that courage. You got to do it. You got to brainwash yourself. Do whatever it takes to get that courage, to bring that courage upon your body, and just feel that courage and go, okay, I'm going to overcome this fear. I'm going to overcome this fear now. I am not afraid. I am courageous. If you just got to put yourself in that state. It's hard to explain through an audio piece. It's something you just have to right now take that breath and just get that courage. You have it within you. It's a matter of you start developing it more. And then once you start using your courage more and more, your fears are going to be disappearing. Because anytime you feel that fear, your courage will take over. And that's the way you want to live. You want to walk with courage. You want to walk everywhere with that confidence that you're not fearful. And when that fear hits you, you know how to get rid of it quick and take action. That's what makes you a true leader. That's what makes you someone that's going to grow. And actually, that's how you find happiness. When you have that confidence that you can overcome any fear. So until next time, I'm going to be out. This is Reyes. Peace.